In the meantime, there is some growing outrage over the IRS. That generally is always the case. But in this case, over shutting down a mom-and-pop dress shop in Texas, it gets a little weird here. But Jeff Locke has all the details. Hey, Jeff.
I like weird. And it's not a Republican or Democrat issue. It's an IRS issue. You know, they say, don't mess with the IRS. They can seize your stuff. And in fact, they can seize your stuff. But usually they have to wait 10 days before they actually sell it. Unless, of course, it's perishable. So I ask you, Neil, wedding dresses, perishable or non-perishable? Well, the IRS says they're perishable. Take the case of Mee's Bridal in Garland, Texas, outside Dallas, owned by an elderly Thai couple that emigrated to the U.S. in 1983, had a thriving business there down in Texas. Well, they got behind on their taxes, and the IRS showed up one day and said, you know what, this stuff isn't worth very much, and we think it's perishable. It'll cost more to store than to save. And so the IRS sold it all in one day. And some of the agents even bought some of the cheap dresses. Dresses they said were worth about $600,000. They got about $17,000 for it. Here's what their complaint, because they're now suing, says. Had the IRS used its original inventory value of over $615,000, they'd have had no potential basis to conduct a perishable goods seizure and sale, would have been required to conduct a normal seizure and sale. The entire process was unlawful. That says their lawsuit, and says tax attorneys, independent ones, that we've contacted. Listen.
Who in this world believes that clothing is perishable? That's just pure common sense. And I don't believe there's any judge in this country that would believe that clothing is on the same level as food that might be taken in a restaurant that would spoil within days if it were not liquidated.
Now, Neil, you may have a few suits that are considered perishable, perhaps, in terms of style, but I don't know how you size this one up, but the couple is now suing the IRS, lost their life savings, and, you know, I guess it's not just conservative groups that get targeted. Sometimes it's just regular old folks that are trying to make a buck.
Incredible, as was your comment on my sense of style, but that's fine. I'll let that go. Good seeing you, my friend. Thank you very, very much.
See you.